this won't make any sense to you, but I have to say it. This is anime slushy Madoka episode 11, the only signpost remaining, or maybe the only thing left to guide me, and I'm Cube Watermelon.
I'm Phoenix.
Hey.
That's a sad scene.
Maybe someday you'll understand what that means.
I feel like she understands it pretty quick, to be honest. Like, she just goes, yeah, I'm time traveler, I've seen you a lot of times. She's like, oh, okay.
That's a good fucking scene.
Yeah, it is. It is a really good scene.
Right, but first.
Hey, Homura, what if everything was actually your fault because you keep reversing time and that's why Madoka's the best magical girl, you dingus?
It's me, Kyubey.
He's rubbing it in so hard. It's great.
Yeah, there's no explanation for him telling her these things other than he's just like, oh, now I get it. Haha, eat this.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe he's trying to get her to witch out.
I don't know. He seems pretty confident later that she never will.
Yeah, but he's also a liar. Like,
That's true.
I feel like he does a lot of bullshitting in this episode. I was trying to work out, like, the karmic destiny thing they talk about here applies to Homura as well.
Yeah, so this is a mechanic that they haven't really talked about in the show. The idea of the strength of your karmic destiny determining how powerful of a magical girl you are.
Mm.
And it's weird.
It is weird. I mean, it's one of those things, it's like any sort of magic in a show. It's like, oh, okay, I mean, this is just something you're establishing. But it does sort of make a type of sense, I guess. It depends on specific time traveling rules. But the idea that, like, it's essentially the idea that you're not, like, just reversing the one timeline, you keep creating new ones.
Yeah.
And all of these new ones are now pointing to this one person. Yeah, which I guess means all the other timelines still exist. I don't know.
Well, he says at one point that she's been nullifying timelines, so I always took it to mean that, she goes back and what happened then doesn't exist anymore.
No.
But I think some of the other spin-off manga and stuff maybe play with the idea that those continue.
Mm.
Which would make what she's doing way more fucked up.
Because, eventually you do save Madoka, but, like, in every other timeline, she's dead.
Yeah, though I guess then it does get fixed in the end when Madoka saves all magical girls in all existences and timelines.
Yeah, I guess she saves herself a bunch of times, eh?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. If you're doing all timelines, I guess there would be multiples of everyone anyway, so.
That gets pretty heady.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, did you take issue with the introduction of the karmic destiny thing this late in the show?
I guess a little, like, it doesn't directly contradict anything that they've been doing, so I think I'm okay with it as just like a thing that they throw out there.
Mm. And it's like, it is something that they've hinted at to some extent from the start, talking about how Madoka's very powerful.
Yeah, and you just assume it's like, well, I guess she's just one of those girls that's super powerful.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no, okay, it's tied into what's actually been happening, which, yeah, I don't know, I kind of like that part of it, I guess.
Yeah, and I like that it gives like a very direct way in which Homura has empowered her to save everyone. Like, if Homura hadn't done all those loops and hadn't given her all of that karmic potential, she would not be able to do what she did at the end of the show.
Yeah, and it would have meant also that what Homura did was completely pointless.
Yeah.
Which would be a bummer. Like, if...
I mean, I guess you could say, like, she still led Madoka to making the best wish or whatever eventually, but yeah, kind of eh.
Yeah, it would have... If Madoka just always had the potential to do this,
yeah,
then it would have just become a question of in which timeline does Madoka figure out just the right wish? Because, like, Madoka could have made this wish, could have at least attempted this wish at the start, but without what Homura did by the mechanics, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. And that's something that I always wished that other Madoka things would explore is, so you presume that Madoka could only do this because of all of her karmic potential, but what happens if a girl makes a giant wish like that she can't fulfill? I always wanted to see that.
Yeah, how badly does that go?
Yeah, like, do you just immediately become a witch and your wish isn't fulfilled? Is he just like, no, cannot process? Like, what happens?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. It does feel a bit to me like this is Kyubey attempting to put an end to this and make Homura witch out, because him telling her this is the thing that makes her reluctant to reset at the end of the episode.
It's true.
The house is still ridiculous. I don't care how many times I see it.
No, yeah, I just imagine Gen seeing that scene where he's like, God, I just wrote Homura's house and it has like some images of Walpurgis on the wall, and look at what you fucking did. You guys crazy.
There's a big swinging guillotine, and the images are floating in 3D space.
Yeah, and that's like when Madoka visits her, of course, like, she doesn't remark upon it. when she absolutely should.
No,
Yeah.
she should, but she doesn't because it wasn't in the script because Gen didn't write that ridiculous house.
Yeah, that's my assumption. Anyway, Sayaka's funeral is very sad, but
Can you explain to me the salt on the shoulder?
oh, does someone throw salt over their shoulder?
As Madoka gets home, Junko's waiting for her, and she says hello, and then she dusts some salt on Madoka's shoulder.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that might be a custom you were familiar with, but
Yeah, well, I know that salt is like a purification thing. Like they do that, for sumo battles and stuff. Wait, I'm actually going to look because I want to see that now. Oh yeah, I just, for some reason I just like read that as her brushing shit off of her shoulder.
Madoka has really bad dandruff.
Yeah, I guess that must be some kind of like purification thing or like a luck thing or something.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up later. I don't even know.
No, okay.
Luckily, I never had to go to a Japanese funeral.
Yes, yeah, that's good. That was good.
But her mom, I love her mom this episode.
Yeah, she's great. I will just also quickly comment when they go into the corridor. What's in the corridor for no reason? Different chairs.
Goddamn.
Lots of different chairs.
These goddamn fucking chairs.
I'm
done. I'm done with these chairs.
The weird thing is that like the places where a bunch of different chairs would fit would be in Homura's house, but the chairs in Homura's house are consistent.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Yeah, so they're definitely not related to Homura. They're specifically like a Madoka thing.
Yeah. Or a Junko thing, I guess. Maybe that's her dad's hobby. He makes chairs.
Yeah, you gotta pass the time somehow.
Yeah. But yeah, Junko being aware that something's up is... I like that they make her clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's perceptive. The zoom in on her as Madoka walks away is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like, bitch. You lied to me. It's Kyubey time. Hello, have you ever thought about livestock?
See, here's the thing about this whole scene. It is interesting, but I kind of wonder what this is serving in terms of Kyubey's goals. Because this is like... I feel like this is not convincing Madoka to become a magical girl. Like what I feel like this might be just a bit of a script cheat because it is an interesting conversation and you know it's something interesting to think about, but I don't get at all how this serves Kyubey's purpose.
Well, he is arguing why what he's asking magical girls to do isn't weird or anything, and how it's totally happened all the time, so you shouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah, but it's also like not convincing to Madoka. and he would know that by this point.
I don't know, maybe the idea is that he's like, look, if I can just get her with enough facts and logic, she'll freaking see that I'm right and she's wrong.
I mean, yeah, I suppose he is a reply guy, yeah.
Yeah. But I do like his thing about livestock because I like that, he's like, have you ever thought about your livestock, you hypocrite? You guys do that all the time. And she's like, no, it's all fucked up. And he's like, no, actually, it's not fucked up. It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
I like that turnaround of it.
This is what I mean. He's full of shit. Like, he's just... The stuff about livestock and saying humans, like, we're better to you than you are to your animals. Like, we acknowledge that you are sentient. Like, it's all just... Yeah. It feels to me like he's just working to break her down. But again, I don't get how that...
Nah, I think he's trying to defend himself.
I suppose.
He's feeling very attacked right now.
I mean, maybe the idea is that he's trying to make Madoka feel completely worthless, and that'll convince her to do it or something. I don't know.
I just say this is a good thing to do. Just like how cows die to feed us, and they're cool with it, and they should be cool with it because look at they get to perpetuate their species, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
So just like that, we should die for the universe.
Yeah. I understand his end of the argument. I just...
No, yeah, I just think that he doesn't understand just how bad that is at convincing Madoka.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. It's another one of those times where I'm not sure that if he actually believes this. It really depends on whether or not you believe that anytime Kyubey speaks, he's actually just talking about what he thinks. Or he's trying to convince the girls to do something.
Yeah, I think he's mostly honest unless he's like has a very specific kind of thing he's trying to manipulate someone into doing. But I don't think he thinks that he's a liar. I think he's just very like, I just told the people that was what was convenient for me, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get shit done. I'm a victim.
I don't know. I feel like he is pretty manipulative. I think throughout the series he's sort of been very selective in the things he tells people. Like even here when he talks about I feel like a lot of this conversation is about putting the blame for what happens to magical girls on magical girls.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's definitely a big old victim blamer.
Yeah, there's that. It's that, and he also like the way at one point where he casts himself as like mostly innocent in this, where he says like, magical girls whenever they wish for something, they always wish for something other than what's actually happening. They wish for something other than reality, and that's what leads them to disaster. Which has been sort of true of the girls we've seen. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you're the one who told them they could have whatever they wanted. Like,
No, yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah. But see, I do legit think that he doesn't think it's his fault. He's just saying what he feels, and what he feels is just that he's a victim blamer.
Like he's just okay. He's just an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a dick. And I do like that this is the scene where he says, like, oh, in my species, emotions are considered like a mental disorder. So I was like, okay, you've got that.
Yeah, you have that disorder then, if that's the case.
That's you.
You have emotions. You definitely have emotions. We've seen them.
Yeah. You dingus.
One thing I do like about that bit in particular, though, is that like it's a reverse of the normal shit, the normal hack shit writers do with whenever like alien species encounter humans. Like the normal thing is to go, oh, humans, they're all so divided that they don't get along, and it's so hard to watch. It's a little critical. Whereas this time it's a character who is in a hive mind saying, honestly, we're amazed you got as far as you did. Like the idea of everyone, your entire species all thinking different shit and you somehow get along okay, that's impressive. Well done. Well done. That's really good. Like,
But at the same time, he claims that they would still be living in caves if not for us.
yeah, that's horseshit.
Yeah, that's stupid. It's like the charitable reading of that to me is just that he's full of shit and thinks that he's much more impressive than he is. But obviously, there's been lots of sci-fi like that. It's like, oh, the only reason humans evolved is because of, aliens or whatever. And it's always like, it's always stupid because it's like, we know that we did get this far without outside help, so it's fine.
Yeah, and it's also like he's talked before about how like there's a balance here. Like for all the good that a magical girl does, the witch then goes and does damage. So that really should just neutral itself out. So I don't see how what he did helps anyone. Like, it's silly.
He's so defensive of himself.
I mean, like I said, I do think that maybe this is just about making Madoka feel small.
Yeah, you always want to think that he's like really got his shit together, whereas I think he's just kind of a loser.
I mean, there's probably a combination of those things. I think in this episode he does commit an error. Like there's something he tells Madoka towards the end
Oh.
that is the thing that makes Madoka figure out what she's supposed to wish for.
Also, this is the first time it's not as bad as, and we'll have to get into a conversation about it next episode, the historical Mahos.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, not as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Definitely not as bad as it gets.
Yeah, this is the fun ones in this episode, because this is like, what if Joan of Arc and Cleopatra were Mahos? And it's like, okay.
But Joan of Arc, Cleopatra, and a cave woman at some point, I guess. Or cave girl.
Yeah, I want to see the magical cave women. Were Neanderthals ever Mahos? I want to know.
Yeah, what did they wish for? Sheep.
Well, they were probably like, fire. And that's the only reason we have fire. And that was Prometheus-chan. Stupid.
A cool bar.
Fucking God touching Adam's finger mural.
To be fair, this does look like a real bar. It's not Magireko level stupid place.
That's true. It's just kind of a pretentious bar.
Yeah, it's just a pretentious bar.
But yeah, I fucking love this scene with the mom and the teacher, because it's like really, you have different ways that the parents are played in magical girl shows, but I like the idea of just like really seeing the perspective of the parents when like clearly something's going down and they can't fathom what it possibly is, and it's very frustrating for them.
Yeah. The fact that Junko even says it's hard to sit by and watch something happen that you don't understand and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's what it would be like for the mothers of magical girls.
Yeah.
It's a very sad scene.
It is.
I do also like that the gag character is given an opportunity to be real.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets to come back and she gets to have actual feelings, and yeah, she cares about her students, and she's like, I don't know, and
Yeah.
It's said it's like they talk about Sayaka and how the police are gonna rule it an accident because obviously they're like, we have no idea why the fuck she's dead. To be honest, we can't say anything about this. It's freaking weird.
I do like that they said there was no sign in the news report. They say there was no sign of a struggle, so it might be murder. What?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Right at the start, that's what this is. Like, hang on, what has? Okay.
It's, But yeah, I assume like medically it just looks like the body just stopped functioning.
Yeah, like you would assume. I feel like the implication for the most part there is suicide. That they think she killed herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't figure out exactly how she did it or something.
How she even ended up in the apartment.
Yeah, because they said like it'll probably be ruled an accident after she ran away. So I guess the idea is like she probably just ran away and killed herself because of the boy problems.
Yeah, which means this is a dark timeline for Hitomi as well.
Yeah, they said that she was all like torn up about it, and it's like, yeah, she would assume that it was basically her fault. Sayaka ran off and killed herself.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Hitomi.
The next scene, Homura confesses.
Yeah, it's a good emotional scene.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Madoka.
She tries to continue to play it cool, and she can't. She can't do it.
Yeah. No, I can totally kill it alone. It's fine. I just didn't want to hurt Kyoko's feelings or whatever. And then like the way Madoka is like crying with her head tilted, and she's like, "I want to believe you, but I just can't."
Yeah. I don't even know why I want to believe you, but I can't.
Yeah.
Which is the real killer, because it's like, on some level, we're still friends, even if I don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
Even if you've been awful to me this entire time, I still want to believe in you. I still want to be your friend. And it's, yeah, that cracks her.
Yeah, and then just the fucking like voice acting and stuff when Homura comes and hugs her and is just like, I don't know how to tell you how I really feel. We're not even living in the same time. I've watched you die over and over, and it's just it's good. It's good voice acting. It's a good job.
The voice acting, yeah, continues to be fucking on point. And the way she talks about how I feel like we're just drifting further and further apart in each timeline.
Yeah.
Because everything I'm trying just puts me more at odds with you,
and she's like losing her grasp on herself, and who she is more and more removed from Madoka as a person. And it's like
and also who she was too. Like,
yeah,
because when the pictures start changing to all the bits from the other timelines, and in particular original Palmera, yeah, it's ugh.
Yeah, and she's like, I think I lost myself long ago, and it's like, oh baby, oh, boo boo. And here come the storm.
Here comes the storm. Here comes all the cool shit that Homura does.
Oh my fucking god! It healed me. I was salty about that other anime I was watching, and then I watched this and I was healed completely.
The rockets they're stopping in space, and then I don't know how her magic works that she can just remote control a truck up a bridge, but she does that, and that was rad.
Yeah, it's like, did that come out of her shield? I don't.
It's like surrounded by purple energy, so it's like, I guess she can possess trucks? Okay.
She put something on the pedal to make it go, and yeah, it's very like, don't worry about it. It just looks cool, and I'm like, acceptable.
Yeah, it does, because it does.
It does look very cool.
And then she like falls in the water, and then pops up on some shaft missiles. Yeah, we get it.
Oh yeah, they had the word shaft on it.
What are those missiles? What's this missile installation that's in the middle of a river?
I assume it's a submarine.
Submarines don't launch missiles like that.
That's what you think. I don't know, what is that giant wall of bombs?
Yeah, she made a pit she was going to knock Walpurgis into that is then she filled with bombs. And like, I love there's the hand wave earlier on about how, like all the humans can't see us, so they'll just think it's an earthquake or something. I was like, what are they going to think the explosion was?
Yeah.
Because that's like, it's like a nuclear bomb going off.
I just know that like in the script it would be like Homura's using a bunch of guns, but she can't kill Walpurgis. It's not working. And then you see what they actually did, and it's like, it really feels like that should have killed her though.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be fair, it does make Walpurgis look pretty much invincible.
Yeah, but Madoka was able to kill her in other timelines, so it's like, was Madoka stronger than all this shit combined?
I guess so.
Already?
To be fair, the timeline where we definitely saw Madoka kill her was when she was Mega Ultra Gretchen.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the more recent timelines, so...
I still maintain in that first timeline she probably killed Walpurgis.
Well, I don't know.
But
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
I'll never know.
But this is the other unfortunately naked transformation, and it does have a better one in the movie where she goes directly from her clothes to this. So that's why my supercut of all three together to make the best Madoka would use a movie transformation here.
It's a shame because it was a cool transformation otherwise.
Yeah, and like hers doesn't feel as weird as Kyoko's. This one feels more like your typical 90s magical girl nakedness to me.
Yeah, it's still just sort of, bugger.
Yeah, it's still nowadays, anytime I see that, I'm just like, eyebrow, angry.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about this?
Nope, Madoka must go.
The little brother continues to be charming.
He's just a baby.
Yeah, so we're camping, we're going to have barbecue? He's like, no.
Yeah, but Dad's like, yeah, we're camping, it's great. Oh yeah, so yeah, these are the two, the premiere of these episodes was delayed because of the Sendai earthquake. There were like some minor edits they made to like cover up some blood and make some stuff look a little less like exactly the disaster that had just happened.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough coincidence, that.
Yeah.
Eesh.
I know something similar happened with Higurashi because like there was like a girl who had axe murdered some people in real life as they were airing the show, and it was like too close.
Oh, Jesus.
This happens sometimes.
About 10 years ago, there was a day of like really horrific bushfires outside of Melbourne in Australia. And just after that happened, the Formula One race, an event that was going to happen here, had to throw out all of their advertising for that for the event. Like everything had been printed, all the billboards are made, they were ready to go. And they had to throw it all out because they'd bought Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon
Oh no.
as their track. And the campaign line was Melbourne's on fire.
Oh no.
So that, yeah, they like, well,
Well, fuck.
start again.
That's rough stuff.
That's so rough.
Oop.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kyubey is like, hey, the Homura, she's trapped. She can't give up because then she'll become a witch, and so she just has to keep going, even though she doesn't even think she can do it anymore.
Yeah, see, again, this is like, I feel like this is just Kyubey trying to convince Madoka to go save her.
Oh yeah. This time I do think is because like he even says like I don't even need to convince you anymore. Just look at this shit.
Yeah, just go look.
Now you have to become a magical girl. So
I feel like he says like, I mean, there's nothing I could say. You just think I was a liar. You should just go outside and look. And it's like, that's a bad suggestion. That's precisely what Homura told you not to do.
Yeah, but obviously like he's confident that if she sees that wild ass shit.
Yeah. She got
Oh yeah, like I didn't mention it when we were talking about the fight, but the friggin' I love the opening to her showing up, with the countdown, the
Oh,
3,
yeah.
2, 1, and then there's like the parade of things, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
And like the way Homura is just walking opposite them, like I've done this a million times, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's so rad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
It's real fucking cool, yeah. Walpurgis is extremely cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good shit.
Now, Junko trying to stop her.
She mama time, and she's like, hey, I've been watching Ruby Volume 4. I'm gonna do a slappy.
It's interesting that like she starts to essentially echo Homura, and then Madoka cuts her off and just says, "Look, I understand. I understand all of this."
Yeah. And it's because I understand and love all of you that I need to go.
Yeah, this is what I think is the crux of Madoka making her decision. During that conversation with Kyubey earlier, his whole thing was sort of about, yeah, like we said, essentially victim blaming and saying, like the girls did it because they wanted a wish to come true, but the wish didn't match reality, so they witch out, and so it's all kind of their fault. But the thing that Madoka picks up on is that the girls are all making wishes because they want to protect people. Like they make wishes because they care about other people. They make wishes because they want to save other people from something else. And like with the exception of Mami, every wish we've seen made, or every girl we've seen, has made a wish that was along those lines.
Yeah.
And even Mami like made her entire life from that point onwards about saving people. And that's kind of what this scene is about. Kyubey characterizes the girls as selfish and foolish, whereas Madoka recognizes it's actually about caring for other people.
Yeah. And then she's gonna make a wish that ennobles those wishes.
Yeah.
Because it's like I want them to still have those wishes because they were important to them and they made them for a reason, but I just don't want them to have to curse people afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. And the bit that
And it's like, yeah.
and the bit in that conversation with Kyubey that tips her off, when he's talking about Homura and saying, as long as she still has hope, she's never going to turn into a witch.
Yeah. Madoka will always have hope.
That's the thing, because then Madoka says, as long as she still has hope. And I feel like that's the moment when Madoka realizes what she needs to wish for.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh wait, wrong thing.
Yeah. Not quite yet, yeah.
But I like how Junko is don't go and Madoka's like I'm gonna go and then she's like okay then take me with you and I'm like yeah cool mom. And then she's like are you sure you weren't being mistaken or misled, and Madoka's just so very confidently like no, and it's like yeah she does have all the information now and she's gonna do exactly what she wants to do, haha.
Yeah, that was such a cool moment. Because like everyone else has been tricked to some extent or another, and that's what Madoka's feared, and that's what she's been talking about in those conversations with Kyubey. Junko manages to accidentally make it clear that Madoka is not being tricked. She knows she's not being tricked anymore.
Yeah, everything has been leading to this one moment of perfect clarity for her.
Yeah.
But then you eat the Homura, she's so sad, and everything's fucked, and everything just keeps getting worse, and it sucks, and her legs all stuck, and she's a sad girl.
And if I go back, it's only going to make things worse for Madoka, and I can't. Everything I've done, like she's essentially reading the script that Kyubey was giving Madoka before.
But I feel it, and it's sad. But then there's that little hand grasp with like the sound effect, and it's like, yeah, your girl's here.
Yeah.
And the way like she's just like, that's enough. It's okay now. It's going to be okay. And it's just like, oh man, like that's exactly the kind of thing you want from someone when you're depressed, you know?
Yeah.
It's like hold your hand, just be like, you know what, you've done enough. It's okay. Just take it easy.
Yeah. I'm gonna take care of this now. She does look like Madoka from other timelines, but there is something more confident and serene about her here.
Yeah.
That's just sort of Ugh.
I'm sure a lot of that work also being done out by Aoyuki.
Of course.
Thank you for your hard work.
You've done enough. But it's more like there's something about like this should be terrifying. Like so much of the show after you start to learn what a magical girl is, you spend it going, Madoka, please don't wish. Please don't wish. Don't do it. So when she at the end, the last thing she says in the episode is, I'm sorry. Like that should be terrifying. But there's just something about it. You can see that she's got it. She's got this.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a kind of a funny cut between she like turns around to Homura and smiles, and then there's a cut to her like leaning forward smiling, and it's a little too jarring, and I did have to go back and look because she's not doing that lean forward in the original TV run. So I was like, oh, you wanted to make it a nicer shot, but it made the cut very weird.
Homura has one of those too as well when Walpurgis turns up.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, she turns for a second and then it cuts back wide again and she's still facing forward. It's weird.
That's always interesting in animation how like some continuity errors between shots can totally work and others are like, whoa, that wasn't right.
If they're going to fix one shot, why they wouldn't fix the one? I don't know. It's an odd choice.
You have no fucking idea. In the new season of Precure, Healing Good Precure, the blue girl, her transformation has like several cuts that are like that, where she just like she does a pose and then it like suddenly cuts to a completely different pose, and it's horrible. This is the one thing you really need to nail in your Precure show. You're going to show this transformation like 5 million times. What the fuck, guys?
It's like the way in original Sailor Moon where like the episodes could occasionally be very janky and a lot of like zooming in and out on still shots, but then you get to the transformation, and because they were going to have to see that thing over and over again, it's so overdone.
Oh god, the Sailor Moon, like, it's amazing to me that those transformations are still some of the best magical girl transformations, even decades later. They just really nailed that shit.
Yeah, they really did.
They're so rad.
That's kind of it though. That's this episode.
Yeah, it's about time for the biggest magical girl transformation. She's gonna get real big. She want to be tall.
A joke that no one outside the Discord will get.
Oh no, I was referencing a YouTube thing.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking about, she likes to be tall?
Yeah.
Guys, in our Discord, Corinth posted, there's a part in Ruby where Crow stands on his sword, and she made a really cute comic where he's standing on his sword and it says, he likes to be tall, get down from there. And now I always want to say he likes to be tall about various things, and it's too good of a reference and no one gets it. You all have to get it now.
You all have to go follow Corinth. Go read Crisis 2.
Yes, follow Corinth. Hers amazing. I'd like to be tall too.
Yeah, so one more episode and then Rebellion.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Rebellion, the big mixed bag that it is.
I can't wait. It's going to be a long one.
Yeah. I know last week we talked a bit about stuff we were thinking of doing next, but I think there's something has very, very recently happened that may supersede any other podcast. I think we're going to have to talk about Villainess, because Kyubey is extremely salt about how the end of that anime turned out.
I watched the second half of the anime just earlier tonight, and I was just, it broke my heart. It had so much good going for it. I mean, nothing, like world shattering, but I was having such a good time. But there comes a time when the laughter must stop, and we're gonna have to talk about it.
So maybe that'll be coming up next. Yeah.
Salty.
We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.